Okay, so I'm going to use Delineate to figure out how much can I afford to pay for a new customer in gross profit terms. So after I subtract out all of the shipping costs, the product costs, the cost of goods sold, the transaction costs, all of that, how much do a group of customers contribute to the business, and therefore how much can I afford to pay for them? Okay, so we can see that we have a cohort summary. A cohort is just when a customer, is defined by when a customer became a customer. When did they make their first purchase? And I can see that, let's say in July of 2024, I acquired a group of customers. On average, it cost me $39.74 to acquire that group of customers. And after 2.31 months, they had contributed more gross profit than I had paid in customer acquisition cost, so that they then became a profitable customer. You can see that other customers took, around 1 month. Some were paid back on the very first order, so that's great. And then we have some outliers out here where we're up around sort of 8 months in order to get paid back. So that starts to give us a sense. Okay, well, if I want to get paid back in 2.5 months, maybe around $41 is something like what I can pay. If I come down here to the actual cohort activity and I look at this in gross profit terms, and then I can see how much gross profit a group of customers has contributed on average per customer at a given point in time. So now I can start to say, okay, well, if I want to get paid back in 3 months, then this is the kind of customer acquisition cost I can afford to pay, right? Because this is how much gross profit the customers are contributing. So, this particular cohort, after 3 months, had contributed $42 in gross profit. I could use that gross profit to acquire the customer, and then every, month after that, in terms of what they contribute, would then be profitable. If I'm willing to wait 6 months, then my customer acquisition cost can actually be something more in this range. So something like $34 at the low end to $46 at the high end. You're always going to get variation in each cohort, just in terms of what the customer behaviors are, but also what's happening in the ad platform auctions. If you're using things like Meta ads and Google ads, that's going to affect your customer acquisition cost, and therefore affect how long you can afford to wait to pay back that customer acquisition cost. If I flip over to my CAC payback, I can see what percentage of CAC has been paid back for each of those cohorts at each given point in time. So I can see that sometimes I get paid back after 4 months, I get to 100%, and some months I'm waiting, something more like 8 months, whereas some months I'm paid back on the very first order. So using these charts, using this cohort analysis, you can get a really good sense of, okay, well, if I'm willing to wait X amount of months to get paid back my customer acquisition cost, what can my customer acquisition cost be? And remember, very important to do this in gross profit terms, because at the end of the day, if you're paying for all the cost of goods sold, transaction fees, shipping fees, all of that all needs to be factored into your customer acquisition cost calculations. So all of this is just done for you in Delineate. If you head over to delineate.co, that's delineate.co, you'll be able to get direct access to this chart straight away. Thanks a lot.